Today I messed up by placing my cat on a fear-based diet. This fuck-up took place over a couple of months and only ended today. Poor kitty. My cat, Chub, well I guess no longer that chubby, has her food bowl in the hallway in sort of a crevice next to a under-the-stairs closet. Usually the closet is used to store cleaning materials and other miscellaneous items, however my very old cat, Mies, became sick and I had to get the transportation box from in there so I could take her to the vet, and I never really got around to putting all of the stuff back in. My old cat sadly had liver failure and had to be put down, so she never came back. After this, Chub was slowly losing weight while also acting a lot more on edge and wanting attention more than usual, and I mistakenly correlated this with the loss of her friend. Until today, when I watched her warily sneak up to her food bowl, eat a couple of bites and run away as fast as she could. At this point in time I realized that the vacuum was right next to her bowl. And had been for months. I probably don't have to mention that she is deadly afraid of the wicked contraption. I promptly moved her food into the living room, but I feel horrible for not putting two and two together. At least she is at a healthy weight now. Too long. Didn't read. Without realizing, placed vacuum next to the food bowl for the overweight cat. Cat was afraid to eat for months. Cat lost a lot of weight. Today I messed up by giving my boyfriend a Christmas blowie. This didn't happen today, but on the day before Christmas Eve. For some backstory, I am 30 weeks pregnant and had some serious complications that I had to be air transferred to a hospital 6 hours from my home and had to spend a week in this unfamiliar hospital to be monitored as the doctors were afraid I was going to give birth far earlier than expected. My boyfriend and I spent over a week stuck in the hospital, and when I was finally deemed safe to go back home, especially right before the holidays, we were ecstatic. It was about a 6-hour drive home back to our city, and after a long drive and an even longer week of being confined to the hospital, we got home around 10 p.m. and settled in for a night of relaxation with our cats and Netflix. Due to complications of my pregnancy, we are unable to have penetrative intercourse, but we were both feeling frisky, so he went down on me, gave me a few O's, and of course I was happy to return the favor. So there I am, with a mouthful of dick, eagerly giving him some very enthusiastic head, and he comes. As I pull my mouth away, I realize I couldn't swallow. I then also realize my mouth is stuck open. This has happened before, sometimes while yawning, most often, but I usually can click my jaw back into place easily. This time felt different. I panic, run straight to the bathroom, and sure enough, my jaw is wide open, enough to fit probably 4 fingers between my top and bottom teeth. My boyfriend rushes in and I tried to explain the situation, but I could barely speak due to my jaw being stuck open so wide. He quickly realized, obviously by just looking at me, and we start frantically Googling methods to fix it. He even called telehealth and they told him we needed to go to the hospital. I was crying hysterically. After spending over a week in the hospital, I did not want to have to go back. Unfortunately, nothing was helping and I was in excruciating pain, so I caved in and we headed to emerge. At the hospital, the emergency room was packed. We were informed there was only one doctor on for the night and the wait was an anticipated 9 to 12 hours. We had no choice. My boyfriend thoughtfully got me one of those face masks to cover your mouth, usually for coughing, because my jaw was hinged open and I was pouring drool that I wasn't able to swallow. We spent a whopping 13 hours waiting to be seen by a doctor. By the time I was finally seen, I was in the worst pain I have ever been in. Then I had to embarrassingly explain how it all happened. After that ridiculous wait, the doctor carefully put a hand on either side of my jaw, pushing one side while pulling the other side, and an immediate clicking noise happened and I realized my mouth had closed. The relief was amazing and I was crying tears of pure relief. He diagnosed me with TMJ and basically said I'd have to get jaw surgery after my pregnancy is over, and sent me on my merry way after giving me a tip on how to try and adjust the jaw myself if it ever were to happen again. Too long. Didn't read. Sucked some dick, got my jaw stuck open for 13 hours and had to lie to my family at Christmas dinner about why I spent 13 hours in emerge. We told them I yawned too wide. Spoiler, no one believed us. Today I messed up by not listening to my 4-year-old. After giving the kids, 2, 3, 4-year-olds, a bath and brushing their teeth, they can always play upstairs by themselves for a bit. This usually lasts until the second time one of them is crying because of little fights or hurting themselves in typical kids' ways. It was a usual day and I was downstairs doing some scrolling on a subreddit when my oldest daughter yelled something like, "Son 3 years, is playing with water." I thought he was playing with the glass of water we have next to our parental bed and brushed it off as a minor thing. Then 5 minutes passes and I keep hearing the sink turned on upstairs. I go on the stairs to prevent a potential soaked bathroom. There I find my 2-year-old filling the little buckets we have for bath time with water. Stop her. Then I go to the big bedroom and see my son dumping a full bucket of water right on top of our mattress and starting to jump on it. Spent the whole evening trying to dry the whole mattress and cover that were soaking wet. Had to sleep on it upside down. Hopefully it will be able to get dry by the end of the week. Too long. Didn't read. 4-year-old warned me the other kids were making our bed wet. Brushed it off, only to later realize they were soaking it with buckets.